All right, next question says, I just finished the second week of my guided programming and I made a modification which I was seeking some input. I prefer to lift every other day consistently as opposed to lifting in the typical Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday format. At work, my days off rotate, so they're never the same week to week, and I work night shift occasionally and have unplanned overtime. I also have a 6-month-old son, so quality of sleep and time to lift is at a premium. And lastly, I generally feel more recovered physically and mentally with a day off between workouts. I know this isn't going to produce an optimal training effect, otherwise you would have programmed it this way from the start. However, I'm willing to sacrifice optimal gains for manageability in terms of fitting training into my life. My question going forward is, what, if any, modifications would you make to this approach? And also, could you change my default deadlift on the calendar to sumo? First, the easy part, yeah, I can definitely change your deadlift to sumo. No problem. I'll get that taken care of. Some other components to this. I wouldn't be so quick to assume that this is a suboptimal solution. There are optimal solutions for each individual, but since guided programming is in a group format, just because it's programmed in a certain way doesn't mean that that's the best way for you. Also, it's not 100% clear to me what you mean by the every other day format. It seems like there are a couple possibilities. One is that you train in a more classic Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday format, which is not exactly every other day, but it's close. That Friday-Saturday pairing is right next to each other, but everything else has a bit of space between it. If that's what you're working with, then that's 100% fine. There's no issue with that whatsoever. It's just that, that schedule works better for you, then go for it. Now, if you do mean literally every other day, then that changes things a little bit, because some weeks you're going to have 4 workouts and other weeks you're going to have 3. And in order to keep yourself on the guided programming schedule and keep yourself peaking at the right time, we're going to need you to keep with the weekly schedule. So when training gets sent, you need to look at how many days do you have to train for the next 7. Okay, Sunday to Saturday, how many days do you have to train? If you have 4 training days, then that's great. You can hit all 4 workouts. If you only have 3 training days, then I'm going to need you to hit the priority 1, 2, and 3 sessions. You're going to skip the priority 4 session and just move on to the next week. If you don't, if you're rolling that day 4 workout into the next week, then that's going to space everything out and it's going to throw off the timing for things. So if you are talking about literally every other day, then you're going to have this kind of mix between 4-day weeks and 3-day weeks, but that's okay. That'll still put you where you need to be in terms of overall development and improving your lift quality, getting stronger over time, and setting PRs.